And here we
Did
go.
I make a stinky?
Stream hasn't gone live yet, but that is on the recording.
Yay!
Did I make a stinky?
Okay.
Stream's still not live yet.
Are you telling me that for my benefit?
No, you're playing, you keep playing it over and over again, and now the stream is actually on. So, like, Kirk can actually see us.
Okay.
And hear us. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Okay. Is the stew up?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I am going to try and grab it then. Take a look at the Ustream. I made a change.
Oh, should I be worried?
What's that?
I said, oh, should I be worried?
No, I think you'll be happy.
Okay.
I think it's a nice change. And my monitors just broke, Kirk says.
Ooh, I like it.
You like that?
I do like it.
I just added that this morning. Oh, how nice. Everything is together. I can just go down the list and download. You the man.
Yeah.
And we have a review from Tom.
Well, that's good since we don't have a noise trade pick.
Yeah.
I couldn't find anything. There's several things I'm excited about, but none of it is stuff that I have. Well, there might be something. Let me see if I can find it real quick.
Well, it's all right. We don't have to have one.
Well, it's something I haven't even heard yet, but and I'm assuming that it's free. So we'll see. It's not on Noise Trade technically, but which, by the way, I assume. Oh, that's so weird because usually I don't see a camera for you at all, but now I do. But it's just showing the side of your mic.
No, that's just my image icon.
Oh, that's your image icon. Oh.
Yeah, that's what it forced me to take a picture. So I just shoved the side of my mic in front of the camera because I didn't want it to be my face. And because it's the broken FM one, it's not mine.
Oh, okay.
So can you bring your monitor, your camera down a little bit? Because we see the top of your head and a lot of space. That's better. Let's see. Let's do 20. Song 1. Boom. Song 2. Boom. Song 3. Boom.
Booyah shaka.
I have a lot of crap in my downloads folder I need to delete. Let me see here. So I was telling Kirk I finally had time yesterday to listen to the new Anberlin album.
Yeah.
I've never been an Anberlin fan.
Mm-hmm.
So, I say this with that in mind. I was not overly impressed.
Oh, okay.
I feel like there was a couple good songs on there.
Right.
We can have Kirk's noise trade picks by Paul. Kirk's giving you ideas in the chat on some noise trade stuff.
That's always good.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I wasn't overly impressed, unfortunately.
Mm.
So a couple of decent songs I felt like, but
yeah,
that's coming from a non-fan. So I'm sure people who are fans of Anberlin music probably dig on it big time. I know Kirk said he enjoyed it. He finally got the vinyl. We'll rub a little bit of that salt in your wound there, Paul.
Yeah. Oh man, it's like everybody's coming out with stinking vinyl now.
Yeah,
1,000 Foot Crutch is doing vinyl for their new one too. I'm like, I don't have money for this.
Oh, we got a new review on iTunes too.
Another one since last time?
Yeah, Sweet 16. What
Is that the name of the person who reviewed it, or is that the number of reviews we have now?
No, that's the number of the reviews that we have now.
Gotcha.
So, they basically just said, they've listened for a while and they really enjoy the show.
Oh, that's nice.
So we'll cover that in the episode, but been listening for a few months. Enjoy every episode from Spinelli116.
Cool.
So, let's see here. Output to, where is my? You are plugged in.
Philip LaRue has a band. Oh.
I forgot the other day I unplugged the USB cable out of the back of the soundboard, and I have the other end plugged into my computer. I'm like, why is this thing not showing up? Hello, my name is Chris. Oh, seriously? You're going to do that now? You're not going to play over my USB like I want you to? I have to do this, and then do this again?
Is your soundboard actually on? Oh, man, I'm realizing how dumb I am. Oh, for the love of Pete.
Oh, why are you doing that? Built-in output audio codec.
But first, let me take a selfie.
There you go.
That was so loud.
That was loud?
Just about killed me.
Why was that so loud?
I don't know, but it hurt. It pained me.
I don't understand. That shouldn't have been any louder than normal. Like I haven't changed any settings for that.
Okay, hold that thought just a second. I'm going to check a level on this real quick. Whoa, that's loud.
Maybe you're loud. Maybe your stuff is hot.
Your mama jokes are coming so great right here.
Is that correct? Okay, what the...
That was you.
What the heck?
Hey. 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 Okay. I'm gonna tempt fate, and I'm just gonna play this right off the browser because it's not downloadable.
So it says my mic levels are down to 4.
Interesting. Oh, that's not so bad.
That's bad for me, though. It's crushing me now.
Yeah.
And I don't get why. If I pull those down. Help.
Oh no, that's weird. I just tried to lower your your volume in my mix, like to lower Skype, and it didn't do anything.
I wish there was a separate volume control for the USB mix
Yeah, wouldn't that be lovely?
out of this thing, because it's ridiculous.
Oh, there is.
No.
Oh
where?
no, or is that an input? I think it's on the back.
I think that's everything.
Oh yeah, you're probably right. Never mind.
Okay, so I turned that down a little bit. Has my mic volume changed at all?
Not that I've noticed, but
Got it all the way down. I think it only affects. That's just loud.
mm-hmm.
Why doth thou vex me so? Let me see. Is
So
there-
grievously.
Let's see. Band EQ's not going to help. Peak limiter.
Yeah, mine. For what it's worth, Kirk, I'm downloading The Rival right now. I won't have it in this week's because it takes too much time to go through it, but I may very easily have it next week. Just so you know that I listen to you, buddy. Ooh, that's better.
Yeah, but
That's
it's pretty
so-
low. What do you think about that? Is that crushing you?
It's loud, but it's not distorted, so that's good. And it's not like I have to listen to it for that long, and you're not loud, so. Which is kind of funny.
Temptation sold separately. Batteries not included.
Did that sound overly
No, that's
loud?
fine. No, that's fine.
Right.
And a hard place. New music.
So nice to have a review again this week.
Frickin' Tom.
Tell you, man. What's up with that?
Well, I better not start talking too much, considering I don't have anything for sort of thing this week.
Well, we'll just bounce it back since, you're good.
Yeah.
Since you were good the last 2 weeks and he wasn't, now he can be good this week and you can't.
That's right.
It'll all balance out in the end. Okay, did anybody see the video of J.J. Abrams standing next to the new X-Wings?
I saw that it existed, but I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, dude, the X-Wing looks so cool.
Oh, good. It doesn't look overly shiny.
No, actually, the one that they showed looked very space-worn and battle-scarred.
Nice. See, that's important. That's what killed, I think, a good bit of the coolness of the newer trilogy that they had already done. It's like everything looked too pretty. It's like this is supposed to be before everything. Why does everything look better and more futuristic?
Well, no, this is after everything. This is...
I know. I was talking about the other one.
Oh, the other ones, yeah.
The prequel trilogy.
And actually, Kirk, it is an X-Wing. The S-foils do separate. I'll link you to some images that show how they separate. It's actually some of the... they went back to some of the original concept designs by the original X-Wing artist. And this is exactly how he envisioned the X-Wing. And then Lucas ended up changing it a little bit so that it had the 4 motors that looked like they separate as 4 individuals on top of the wings. These actually... How do I want to describe this? When the wings are together, they look like they're a circle, but the wings separate, and you realize that there's the flat spot and then the round hump on the top, but the wings do separate. So there's lots of images on the internet that prove that it is, in fact, an X-Wing, just a little different style.
Nice.
So it's I am so jazzed. I mean, this can't be any worse than episodes 1 through 3 that nobody really wants to admit they exist.
I'll be mean and stupid and say that I enjoyed them for what they were, but I did not like them nearly as much as the original.
Yeah, I showed.
Like I didn't actively hate them. I just actively hated Hayden Christensen.
Yeah, I agree. Because
he's just so pouty.
Let me see here. Let me see if I can look him up, Kirk. I'll button on one. Hit turn allow link.
Take on me. Take on me.
Let me see. It is in fact an episode 7 X-Wing, not a Z95. Let me here. Here, Kirk, you can read this from The Verge. And that will show you what I was talking about in the if you scroll down to the bottom of the page, there's some concept art that shows what the X-Wing could have looked like. Abrams seems to be pulling from Macquarie's art for at least some of the set design. So take a look at that, and I think you will see what I am referring to.
It'll set you right.
Well, it says the official Star Wars Twitter account confirmed this afternoon that the design for the X-Wing draws from designs by the original trilogy artist Ralph McQuarrie.
Nice.
So, well, the geek friends that corrected me very harshly will now be corrected as well. Vengeance is mine. Enjoy that. Remember, revenge is a dish best served cold.
Mm-hmm.
Sarah's taking my puppy to the beach today while I'm recording the podcast. So,
Cool.
yep. All right. Are we about ready to get rolling? It's 20 after.
Yeah, I think that would probably be a good idea.
A good idea. Or with salsa.
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 That sounds good, okay?
No, I will not. How about some fava beans and a nice Chianti?
Yes, that was a favorite quotable line in college for me. Yes.
Hey, Tom, you'll appreciate this. Apparently, Leo Laporte just joined LinkedIn, and I have the opportunity to become his LinkedIn friend in my network.
Oh, this is cool. See, we just changed it to dubstep just like that.
Yeah. All right. You ready to get going? I guess I should bring up my DAW. Which probably means I need to delete out last week's episodes. Before I get started. I'm so lazy this week. Well, no, I've just been really busy this week.
Yeah, sure. Backpedal there.
Hello, boys and gals. Let's see. Go and meet the guy. One day I'll make a trip down there and see. Perhaps enjoy a dinner. As Shay Cooner, you are welcome here anytime, dude. Honestly. And I met him once. The year the original iPhone came out, I was at the Apple Store actually buying mine so that I could take it home and hacktivate it because I wasn't about to switch to AT&T for my services. And so I walk in, and I'm standing there waiting on my iPhone, and he comes walking up, and I turned around, and I'm looking at him, and I'm like, oh, my goodness, that's Leo Laporte. So I walked over to him, and I said, Leo? And he goes, yes. And I said, hi, I'm a big fan. I've enjoyed. He was still at, I think he was still at Tech TV at the time. And I just said, hey, I'm a big fan, and I really enjoy your stuff, and all of that. I was like, I'm here buying an iPhone. And he pulls his iPhone out of his pocket that he had already hacked to be able to use with T-Mobile because he was doing stuff up in Canada, I think. And Tom says he would have peed a little. So I he showed me some things on his phone, and I told him, I was getting mine so that I could go home and hacktivate it myself as well. So I shook his hand, and it was a very short meeting because then he got called up by his Apple genius to go deal with whatever it was. I think he said he was buying an iPhone for his mom, and so it was nice to get to chat with him. He's a very nice guy. He was very nice, so full of spice.
Okay.
That's from The Mask.
It is?
Yeah. You ever seen it?
Oh, yes, I have a lot, but it's just been a while.
Yeah. It's been a while. It's been a nice while.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we ready to rock this?
I don't know about rock this, but we're ready to start it at least.
All right. Let us hit record in 3, 2, 1. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Rock in a Hard Place podcast. My name is Chris Cooner. I am a DJ with Broken FM. You can check us out online at broken.fm. Joining me today, once again, my good friend and co-host of this show, Mr. See, I did the Mr. again. Paul Gibson. No, it's not his father. It's him.
You may call me Senor Pablo.
Senor Pablo Gibson.
Senor Pablo Gibson.
Mm-hmm.
I am here to spin the tasty tunes for you, my friend. My apologies for sounding very racist in that moment.
I was going to say, my goodness, all the Speedy Gonzalez haters are going to be all over this podcast for you making fun of a Latino accent.
My name is Lopo Rodriguez. I am the slowest mouth in all of Mexico.
That's right.
I always loved Slowpoke. He was just fun.
Awesome.
Since he was so clever. It's like he was slow, but you still couldn't catch him because he was so smart. He had it up here. He didn't have to be fast.
Exactly.
Anyway, well, that was fun. Okay, so yes, I am Paul Gibson. I host the Christian Rock 20 Countdown, and then once in a while, of course, the Christian Music Archive show as well. And it's been a fun ride thus far on all of those things. And yeah, so I don't know what else to say about me. If you want to know more, you can check out the ChristianRock20.com or ChristianMusicArchive.com. And love all of you guys. Y'all are so sweet.
Yeah. We actually got a new review on iTunes this week.
Oh my goodness! 2 weeks in a row. This has got to be a sign of the apocalypse somehow.
I know. Tell me about it. I was looking through, checking some stuff out. I was trying to send a link of a review that Tom had done out to the guys in Fight the Fade because I don't know if they had seen that Tom had done it yet. And right. I happened to look, and there is a new review from someone named Spinelli116. And their comment is, been listening for a few months and enjoy every episode. So thank you, Spinelli116. We appreciate the love.
Nice. Now, Oh, okay. Spinelli. I was thinking Spicoli, like
No.
from Fast Time at Ridgemont High. I'm like,
No.
Spicoli and
Well, and
116?
Spinelli. There is some movie with a character named Spinelli. I'm almost positive, and I cannot
like a
put
cop
my
name.
finger. It might be. It might
Like,
be.
hey, Spinelli, you need to get back on your beat, man. It
yeah,
sounds like that.
It does totally. So I don't know. I'm wondering if there isn't some kind of hidden message within that, but whatever. It's all good. It's all good. Oh my. So it's been a bit of a crazy week for me. I finally got the streaming computer back up and running. So we are actually live on Ustream right now and looking good as far as I can tell. Well, as good as two fat guys can look, but that's beside the point.
Did I ever tell you about two fat guys?
Two fat guys. No.
When I was in college, we had a very short-lived online restaurant review show called Two Fat Guys at a Buffet. And it was me and a friend of mine. His name's Luke, and he actually listens to this podcast from time to time, so he'll probably be thoroughly stoked that I brought it up. And if you really want to see some terrible stuff, look up Two Fat Guys at a Buffet on YouTube. I think they're still up there somewhere.
That's
And
awesome.
yeah. I think we did a total of 2 actual reviews. Then we went to this other place that we were positive that we were going to review, and it was closed permanently when we got there. So that became kind of a goofy thing in and of itself. But it was great. Like our nemesis was salad. We would always avoid the salad bar.
Okay.
Kind of like a vampire with garlic or something. So
Totally.
it was most amusing, and it was plagued by little things. Like there's one of them that has no dialogue, just voiceover, because we didn't turn the audio recording on at all. So afterwards, we were like, "Wait a minute, there's no sound on this. What can we do creatively that will cover this? We should do voiceovers. Like it's just us thinking inside our head, and then we acted like big enough to where it could probably be okay. So it basically looks like we're miming the whole thing, and yeah, it was great.
That's hysterical. That's hysterical. I love it. I know of Five Guys being a restaurant. I think
Right.
it started as 3.
Oh.
Kirk says, isn't that a restaurant? Two Fat Guys, maybe a restaurant. But I know the Five Guys burgers,
Yeah,
which are not bad. They're just horrendously expensive.
that's what I hear.
And I'd rather spend less money and just go to In-N-Out.
Right.
Seriously, I've been to Five Guys once. And it was like $14 for a burger, fries, and a drink.
Ooh.
And they give you so many fries. Like they take your burger and they stick it into the bag. And then they
Right.
take your fries. They fill up one of those tray things with fries or a bag with fries, whatever. They stick it down inside. And then they take another scoop and they throw it on top of that. So it's like there's so many fries in my bag that I can't get to my burger.
But it helps keep the burger warm, I bet, if
Well-
you're getting it to go.
Yes. Yeah, it does. But still, I don't know. It's like it's a total first world problem. I want to eat my burger, but I got to eat all these crappy, crazy fries instead. So, And then my wife can't even go near the store because she's got a
Right.
peanut allergy, and they
Right.
like everything there is just peanuts everywhere because it's like that.
At first, I thought you were about to say just everything in there is peed on.
No. I said peanut.
No. But my brain was getting ahead of you in a bad way.
Yes. So she steers clear of Five Guys.
Yeah.
Not a problem. Kirk says, "Isn't this music talk and not burger talk?" Well, hey, it's our podcast. We'll talk about whatever the heck we want. Yeah.
And just so Tom can follow, I'll say this to you, Kirk. Take off, you hoser.
There you go.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Take off, eh?
Yeah.
I still love the movie Strange Brew. Fleshy-headed mutant in the Forbidden Zone. I will investigate.
Yeah.
Fleshy-headed mutant, are you friendly? No way, eh?
Yeah.
Nuclear radiation has made me an enemy of society and turned me against all civilization. Take off, eh? Oh, man. Tom's never going to want to be a part of this podcast ever again.
Between the Slowpoke Rodriguez and that one, we have alienated both neighbors to the north and to the
And
south,
the
all in
South.
one podcast.
Exactly. And most of Spain and Portugal. You know,
We tease because we love.
That's
That's
right.
right. Because we tease each other all like this all the time, and we don't hate each other.
Exactly. Well, what do we have news-wise, Paul? It's been a pretty quiet week, if I remember correctly.
Right. It hasn't been a whole lot of craziness going on. There's a couple of small things, like I think this is very cool, and this is something that I wish more places would do. But Rocket Town, which of course is like a venue in Nashville that was originally started by Michael W. Smith.
Yep.
And as I recall, I think at this point it's not necessarily exclusively a Christian concert venue, but I think they mainly cater towards Christian concerts and then mainstream concerts that are a little, I guess, slightly more family friendly.
Okay.
Not to say that they're like, all like, kids groups or anything, but, they're not going to have like ICP or Korn or, any of the like, bands that we think of as being really abrasive on the mainstream side, I guess.
Kirk says he saw Five Iron Frenzy and Propaganda both there. So
There you go.
That's
There you go.
cool.
So for sure. So right now they are doing a Indiegogo campaign, which first of all I saw, I'm like, oh shoot, are they having trouble keeping money together to stay open? Because venues always have problems with that, right?
Yeah.
Well, it says they're looking to raise $17,000 to cover the cost of providing a little more home for bands over the next 175 shows that they're going to host. It'll basically work to be an additional $100 in funding for each show, where they can offer a good meal, care packages, and additional help to bands on the road.
nice.
Isn't that cool?
That sounds really cool.
I know. I'm all down with that. So if you want to help them out, it's an Indiegogo campaign, and it's indiegogo.com/projects/feed-the-artist. Or you can just search for Rocket Town, I'm sure, on
See,
Indiegogo.
So, as the first time I heard about Rocket Town, I kind of was like, man, I would love to do something like that here.
Right.
I would love to own a building that could be converted into a venue that would be like a major attraction for bands of all kinds to this particular area. And it wouldn't necessarily have to be Christian shows. I mean, I look at the Phoenix down in Petaluma, and it's a fun venue for a lot of bands, but they don't have the funding to be able to be able to do much. Like, their equipment's old, their soundboard's ancient, their speakers are half blown, but it's what they use. And it's really run down and kind of raggedy and things like that. And I would really love to do something better for, both mainstream and Christian bands to be able to come and play at this venue and just have an awesome experience. And, it doesn't have to be huge, hold maybe 500-600 people, something along those lines, to make it's got to be at least worthwhile, of course.
Right.
Otherwise, there's no point. But, that's always been kind of my dream, to be able to do something like that. So I'm glad that Rocket Town is still doing well and taking on this additional, man, we talked about it last week, supporting your local music, supporting your local bands, and that kind of stuff. It's crazy to me that these bands are struggling so hard when their music is so easy to get out there. But again, that's part of the problem, is the music is so easy to get out there that it's making it harder and harder for these bands to hit their goals as far as financials are concerned.
Right. And I will say this. I just got to their actual page, and it looks like they only have 9 days left as of today, which is Saturday, the 26th of July. So they're only going through August 3rd, but they only have $915 out of the $17,000.
Oh, wow.
So they need some major help. And I think they do have. Oh, excuse me. I had a burp there. Ooh, acidy coffee burp, too. That was-
Nice.
oh, geez.
Lovely.
That's nasty. Anyway.
Bet you wish you had that burger.
Oh, man. The burger does sound pretty good right about now. Anyway, so they're
I got
doing
cold
flex
pizza waiting in
funding.
the fridge for me.
Right. They're doing flex funding. So I think what that means is that they'll get the money even if they don't hit the goal. They just won't get as high of a percentage of the actual money raised.
So they have 900 raised of 17,000.
Right. And they only have 9 days left. So they're at 5%. So
Okay,
help them out.
This seems to be like an advertising issue.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because honestly, this is the first I've heard about it.
And this is the first I noticed about it was on IndieVision, and I just now saw it today. And it may have been up there for a day or two, but still, it needed to be up there a whole lot earlier. But they have lots of cool rewards. Like if you do $50, you get guest listed to any one of their shows. Plus, you get a T-shirt that's like a custom-made, hand-numbered, repurposed shirt. So I'm guessing it's like a former band shirt or something. It doesn't exactly say that, but it says a repurposed shirt that's going to be hand-numbered. $100, you get admission to all annual events. That means you get guest listed to Festmas, Birthday Bash, Out of School Bash, the Extravaganza, and Back to School Bash. Plus, you get the T-shirt. You get for $250, you get a drumhead signed by Matt Greiner. For $250, you get front of the line on any show. So you get to walk right to the front of the line. That's pretty dope.
Ooh, $250 front of the line. Is that like a permanent front of the line?
For a year, I think.
Well, if you go to if you go to a decent amount of shows there, that would be a worthwhile investment.
Yeah, every show for the next year you can get that, and no one's claimed one of those yet. They have a couple of others. You get guest listed for a year on every show for $500. So I mean, you could go to as many shows as you want.
Yeah,
$500 for $550. You can get a guitar signed by Brian Head Welch. Now,
like that.
There's two of those, but only one of them has been claimed. So there's still one more left up on that. And then you can, for $1,000, evidently they have a video production company that runs out of there as well, and you can get a promotional video for whatever. Plus the T-shirt, plus the guests listed for the annual shows.
Wow.
So, or one annual show. But still, I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff on there, and I really wish people would take advantage of stuff like this because I'll tell you what, when a venue like Rocket Town can't make it happen, that really discourages other venues that maybe are smaller and not as splashy from thinking that they can do something like this. And honestly, I wish every venue would do something like this because that is just fantastic. These bands could really use it. And don't get me wrong, I'd be more, as we discussed last week, bands would be more than happy if you just showed up at a show and gave them a $20 gift card or bought a T-shirt or two. I mean, do whatever you can, but this is one of those things because I can almost bet you money that at least half or more of any tour that starts is going to go through Rocket Town. It's in Nashville. It's like the venue to hit in Nashville for Christian bands, especially Christian rock bands. So help them out if you can. So once again, Rocketown, Indiegogo.com. Search out and help them feed the artists. Good stuff.
Kirk says that Red, Demon Hunter, and Viridia are playing August 22nd, so he wants to know if we want to come out.
Oh, man, I would so pay if I had the money.
Dude, you're not kidding. I don't think I could talk my wife into not only the show, but the plane ticket to get there.
Right.
That'd be kind of the sticky point.
Yeah.
So, so basically, Kirk, yes, we'd love to, but I don't see that happening.
And the sad thing is between Kirk and my in-laws, we'd have a place to stay. So it's like even that's taken care of, but plane tickets alone, man, that's by the time you put it all together, that's an expensive concert ticket.
I mean, unless Southwest flies to Nashville and we can get there for like $89.
Right. Even then, that's still kind of a stretch for me.
Yeah. So, apparently Tom is going to go see Red, Demon Hunter, and Viridia August 7th in Flint, Michigan. And he gets a sit down with them.
Have we mentioned lately how much we hate Tom?
I will admit this. I am jealous. So
I'll go beyond that, but I'm not going to do it while we're recording.
Right.
That's right. I will go all.
Tom says easy, bro.
Yeah.
Oh man, what else do we have news-wise?
This I think is kind of cool. Do you remember Crystal Lewis?
Yeah.
Well, they're doing a 25th anniversary record, I think. And that's kind of cool. But what I think is really cool is Peace 586, who was one of the artists who was on Uprock Records, that was like Tooth and Nail's like hip hop sub-label for a while, is doing a remix that features propaganda of People Get Ready.
Oh, wow.
So I think that's pretty cool. I haven't gotten a chance to hear it yet. I've had it sent to me by the by like the management or whatever, and they're like, "Oh, we really want you to hear this." I'm like, That sounds dope. I haven't gotten a chance to listen to it yet, so I'll let you guys know how it is. It's not a freebie that I know of. If it turns out to be, I will let you know, but I have a feeling it isn't, considering the channels that it came through to get to me.
Right.
But that's pretty cool. Also, speaking of older music that is kind of being pushed back into the spotlight, do you remember a band called Branston?
No.
Or Brantson. There we go. It's
No.
Brandtson. Anyway, they were kind of a big, I want to say more along the lines of like indie emo kind of band, like mid to late 90s, maybe early 2000s. Anyway, they were one of those bands that was a fairly big deal, at least within the Christian rock genre, underground kind of stuff. Anyway, they on soundsupply.com, they are offering their entire discography, which is all 7 of their releases, for $15.
Oh, nice.
So that's kind of cool. So that just kind of came out of nowhere. I don't know if that's a long-term thing. I think it may just be a short-term thing, but still pretty decent. Got to think that's kind of cool.
Yeah. Kevin Max is about to release his new single, and according to him, he is very excited about it. So, but I don't know of an artist who isn't excited about new music that they themselves are releasing. And I don't mean that to like put down Kevin at all. I'm just saying that, it's good that he's excited about it because he should be.
Right. It's like, well, I'm releasing a new single, but
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, there is at least one other thing. Lecrae has come out and said that he's not involved in the Katy Perry lawsuit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which to me, I'm not really that surprised, because it's like he's a guest vocalist on the song. It wasn't his song.
Right.
I mean, he probably wrote his verse.
He might have gotten named in the suit just because his name is on
the song.
So
Right. And that's kind of what I was assuming, but yeah, he's coming out and he's like,
Yeah.
So, well, which makes sense to me, because between the two of them, I think Flame was the other one who was on that track. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
Yeah, I believe it was too.
Anyway, I mean, Lecrae, he doesn't need the money. It's like, don't get me wrong. I don't think that's what it's all about necessarily. But at the same time, I think for Lecrae, it's probably one of those things where even if it was a case where he could be part of the lawsuit, I could very easily see him saying, you know what? There's going to be some negativity connected to this.
Yeah.
I don't need the money bad enough to pursue this. And honestly, I don't know that he cares. I mean, he's about to drop a brand new album that, if the last one
It's
is
highly anticipated, this new album.
It is highly anticipated. And I wouldn't be a bit surprised if it didn't go number one. I mean,
totally.
It would be really cool if it did. I mean, last
Church
time
Clothes hit so hard. Church Clothes 2,
Right.
I guess it was. It hit so hard, so fast that I think it's just continued to up his credibility within both the mainstream and the Christian market.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, man. Okay.
So apparently Michael Sweet shared a clip of a new band that he heard on his social media. And a while ago, he was talking about him doing a project with George Lynch. And the comment here from IndieVision is that it sounds like that might be Michael's voice and Lynch's guitar work that Michael posted about. So he's being a little surreptitious in how he's sharing about his new side project.
Now remind me,
by calling it a
who's
new
George
band.
Lynch?
I don't know who George Lynch is. I thought he was a mainstream artist.
He probably is, but man, who's in there a director whose last name is Lynch? That's David Lynch.
David Lynch, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That makes me feel better, because I was like, man, I feel like
Who is that? Well, let me look it up. GeorgeLynch. George Lynch. George Lynch guitars from the Lynch Mob.
really.
Yeah, George Lynch musician. So I'm looking at Wikipedia just so that everybody knows. Let's see. American guitarist, songwriter. Lynch is best known for his work with the bands Dokken,
Ooh.
Lynch Mob, and Souls of We.
Yeah. So basically, he's known for Dokken.
Right. Lynch came to fame in the 1980s through his work as the lead guitarist of the band Dokken, of which he had been a member since 1980. Dokken had a string of successful platinum albums such as Under Lock and Key and Back for the Attack that prominently features Lynch's inventive lead guitar work and cemented his reputation as a bona fide guitar hero. So there you go.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah.
Good,
So now
good.
you know who George Lynch
Which
is.
also, they did you get a preview of their live at the Whiskey a Go Go?
No.
I did.
Of who's
Yeah.
live at the Whiskey Go Go?
Striper.
No.
Yes.
How did? I'm a in the
Hello.
what?
I haven't listened to it yet either. That'll make
All
you even
right.
more sick.
I did get
Dude.
I did get a copy of Random Heroes' new album.
Oh, that's good. See, now I have not gotten that. Although, you know what I did discover today that I'm going to share. I'm going to share slightly out of place in lieu of the fact that I'm not going to have any noise trade picks this week.
Okay.
If you go to Random Heroes Bandcamp page, or if you just check out their Facebook, might be easier. I'm sure there's a link. There is a remix that is free, or rather, name your own price on Bandcamp for Hand Grenade, which I guess is off their new album. And that's pretty cool. I just downloaded it. I haven't listened to it yet, but it features Beacon Light, which I don't know that much about Beacon Light, but I'm all about heavy music getting remixed. It always seems like it works out in something interesting, if not awesome. So
Yeah, totally.
looking forward to it.
No, that's awesome. Good deal. I listened to the new album yesterday. I had time at my new job where my father-in-law, who's the boss, is out doing calls, and I'm basically doing a lot of bookkeeping and data entry and that kind of stuff for his business. And so I have my little UE Boom, my speaker, Bluetooth speaker, and I just set that on the desk, and I can listen to pretty much whatever I want because I'm the only one in the office.
Yeah.
So I listened to Anberlin's new Lowborn album, and as a non-Anberlin fan, this album did not win me over. Like, it did not suddenly make me this huge Anberlin fan. It was okay. Like, the whole thing is listenable. But for me personally, I don't think I would have gone out and spent the money on the album.
Right.
You know, a couple of really good songs. I like the new single that they're spinning right now. It's a really good song, but I like a lot of their upbeat stuff. But some of the more ballady type, slower songs, they just didn't do it for me. Random Heroes' new album, though, actually I really liked. I felt like the vocals came off as less harsh than what I've heard them do in the past. And so it felt, I don't know, everything felt more smooth to me, and I really enjoyed the album as a whole, and I didn't really have anything negative that I need to say about it. So it's definitely a decent album, and I appreciate it. And we're going to have an opportunity, I think, on Monday to talk to one of the guys from Random Hero. We're doing them for the Broken Record. So,
Nice.
Tom, I'll ask you this. Do you have a copy of Random Hero's album, or would you like one to be able to do a review for the podcast? So let me know in the chat if you need it, and I can slide it over to you.
Yeah.
Let me see. Oh, he just sent me a messenger that said, "Dude, can you hook me up with Random Hero's new one sometime?" So I guess that answered my question. So that was good. What other news is there? Is there anything worth talking
Man,
about?
just there's so much good music on the horizon. I mean, the new 1,000-Foot Crutch drops next month. The new Manifest drops next month. I've been listening a little bit to the new TFK, and it is fantastic. The stuff I've heard off the new Manifest has been really good. They sent me a link to be able to stream the new album, which I don't know. I get annoyed with that. But I also did discover because of that it is being released on BEC. It's while he funded it himself and he did all the work and cash flow himself through crowdfunding and whatnot, he is releasing it through BEC. So it's not going to be a completely independent release, but it is being distributed by BEC. So look forward to that being handled all good and proper and whatnot. So
cool.
Looking forward to that. I mean, there's just, that new Striper live album. I mean, it's like, I feel like I can't open up my email without somebody being like, by the way, we want you to hear this. It's coming out soon. I'm like, That's so cool. So I don't know. I don't know if that's just kind of the end of the summer thing coming up. I don't think that it
Yeah.
was like, I didn't feel like there was like, total crap music coming out during the summer, but it's definitely getting really good now.
Well, there
So
wasn't a lot of music coming out during the summer.
There
I mean,
really
I think
wasn't.
Tim and I have done 2 broken records in the last like 6 weeks.
Wow.
And that's the longest stretch we've ever gone without having a broken record. The last official broken record that we did was Michael Sweet's "I'm Not Your Suicide."
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it just, everybody's holding off during the summertime. And right about the time that we're going to start having to review Christmas albums and things is when we're starting to get this plethora of new albums, new music and
Right.
stuff. I mean, it's July. We're already beginning to see the shift towards the Christmas stuff coming through Play MPE and all of that.
Right.
And it just like, seriously, people. It's very frustrating. More albums need to come out during the summer. Summer kids need to buy music too.
This is true. This is true. Well, they're all spending their money on festival tickets, is what people hope. So,
Yeah.
I think that may be the issue. But yes, Kirk. Supposedly, the new Steve Taylor should be coming out very soon, and I anxiously await it because I've heard a little bit from it. No, it's so good.
Well, and Steve is actually coming to Calistoga to play at Rock of Ages in October. So
nice.
yeah, so we'll have hopefully we'll get an opportunity to actually do an interview with him. The last time we talked to him was with
Steve.
Yeah, we talked to him with Blue Like Jazz.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize you guys had done that.
And the thing is, we had to keep it so movie focused that it was
Right.
really hard. But I mean, you've got a guy who has a tremendous amount of history within the Christian rock genre.
Yeah.
And it's like, it was so frustrating having to stick to the movie, because it's like we're calling for this specific purpose and this is what we're
Right.
going to talk about. And then, it ended up being like, it was all great and everything was fine. We had a great time. He was totally like, hey, anytime you guys want to chat, that's totally great. Not a problem. But we just haven't had a good reason to call him. So with this new album, we'll definitely connect. And then, of course, with him coming out to Rock of Ages, we've got another reason to be able to talk to him. So
Yeah.
just
and
it was.
if it's half as good as the one song that I got to hear him play that was like a rough demo, then I'm going to be totally on board with this. Very different from his other stuff, but man, I don't know. I love that dude's genius. He's so much fun.
Yeah, I mean, like I've told you before, I have never been a tremendously huge fan. He's always been kind of an oddball musician to me. His
Yeah.
stylings are just very weird. But
He's really not.
well, to me it is though. That's the thing. I have enjoyed Kirk says, "Do you need a reason to talk to Steve Taylor?" I've enjoyed the things that he's done, the influences that he has had within other bands, though, when he's been their producer, like Guardian and their, I think he did Buzz.
He did Buzz and he did Bottle Rocket. Yeah.
I mean, both of those, I think, are excellent albums, and they really push the envelope, but it's Steve's own stuff that
Yeah.
I have just a hard time getting into.
See, I think you must have just heard like one or two isolated songs that were a bit different, because most of his stuff was very much in tune with what was big at the time. I mean, his
that
style
right?
has shifted throughout the
Maybe
years.
what we need to do, Paul, next week,
Okay.
let's do a Steve Taylor episode.
Okay.
And let's let you
try and convince you.
try and convince me to get more into Steve Taylor.
Sounds like a plan.
Seriously.
I'll go for that.
All right.
I'll
So
go for that.
next week's episode will be Steve Taylor. We'll do like we did with DC Talk. We'll talk about the history. We'll
Okay.
kind of cover some of that. So I'll do some reading up on Steve so that I get more familiar with him. And
Okay.
then you bring songs that you think will help me see the Steve Taylor that you guys see.
Right.
Oh, Kirk says, yes, I can tell my stories of the 2 times I met him.
Right.
Kirk, I tell you what, if you record those stories, or at least one of them,
Yeah.
and email them to me, Kirk, I will play them as a clip in the show.
Sounds
So if
like
you
a wonder to
can
me.
if you can figure out how to do that, if you got an iPhone, you can just record it into the app, the Memos app or whatever. Email it to me, and I'll play one of them as a clip. So you decide which story is the better story. So there you go, Kirk.
Sounds good. And if you are a listener of this podcast and you want to brush up yourself, go to 2beaclone.com. That's TOBEA clone.com. And this is an interactive documentary that my wife made about Steve Taylor. Now, I will tell you this. It kind of goes up to Blue Light Jazz. It doesn't talk that much about Blue Light Jazz as being done. It will refer to it as we hope it gets done, because the film, all the shooting for this was done before the film came out. But if you want a good cross-section of history, lots of video interviews and whatnot with friends and co-workers or cohorts of his, lots of good stuff up there. And you can check it out, and it'll give you a quick crash course on Steve Taylor if you want to check it out.
Awesome. Good deal. All right, so there's something to look forward to next week, folks.
Mm-hmm.
Any other major news we need to talk about, Paul?
Nah, I think I'm good.
Nah? All right.
Now here's something we hope you'll really like.
And a hard place. New music.
Beartooth. Disgusting.
Ever walk in on somebody during a private moment? Maybe they were singing to themselves, changing their clothes, or watching an episode of My Little Pony. It feels awkward as you intrude. I felt that way a few times while listening to the new album from Beartooth on Red Bull Records called Disgusting. This is the first full-length album as a band, their previous release being a successful EP called Sick. Get it? Sick and disgusting? More on that later. Disgusting is definitely a step up from an already decent elevation, and comes in with more heaviness, more strength, and more emotion. A lot of emotion. The lead singer and former frontman of Attack Attack, Caleb Shomo, bears all of who he is on this record, leaving nothing hidden. Passions, failures, motives, a true exploration into the real Caleb, all through heavy explosions of hardcore music that finds the listener relating in many ways. Several of the songs follow a similar structure: shredding guitar-driven verses with Shomo screams, a memorable and singable chorus, slick halftime breakdown. A formula that many hardcore bands follow, but somehow Beartooth does it with a signature sound and overall tone that makes it all sound fresh. It's difficult to describe. It's almost like Beartooth have this tone and vibe that says, "My guitars can beat up your guitars." Just kidding. Come here, buddy. One listen to the opening song, The Lines, and you'll know exactly what I mean. Hardcore, dirty, intimidating, but then pleasing to the ear and catchy. I want to highlight a few tracks that either stood out to me as purely intriguing, or they literally sent chills up my spine, in both good ways and bad. Firstly, the song In Between is just plain awesome. If I was a pro wrestler, I would walk to the ring to this song and fake clobber someone with authority. What I'm trying to say is, it's a great song to listen to before you're about to set out and do something important. It talks about experiencing the ups and downs of life and seizing each moment, carpeing the diems, if you will. Shomo recites in the second verse, "Life's so dark when every day is a struggle. Why go out and see the world on fire? Don't let your mindset become what controls you. Speak right now and make the choice to grow." Love this song so much, and I have no idea why this wasn't the first single released to Christian rock radio. I'll get to the actual single in just a bit. Secondly, the song One More is a track that gave me chills in a good way. This song addresses the extremely sensitive topic of domestic violence. For some, this isn't just an issue, it's a daily nightmare. Shomo does well to either testify or empathize with the teen sitting in his basement trying to drown out the noise that he begs God to stop. Even though it's a high-tempo, aggressive track, if you relate at all to this song in any way, you'll feel the emotion of each word, especially if you read the lyrics during playback. Lastly, the song that was played on some Christian rock stations and shows across North America is track number 12, the closing song to the album Sick and Disgusting. In the interest of honesty, I have to say that I find this song difficult to listen to. I'm not saying it's a bad song, I just mean I have a difficult time listening to it. Each time I do, It feels like I'm intruding, and it's as if I shouldn't be eavesdropping on this expulsion of emotion. It has this sense of tantrum to it, and you can picture an awkward teenager spouting all of his self-deprecating frustrations to his father. I just want to feel loved. I'm just sick and disgusting. Difficult to listen to, but an outpouring of emotion that many artists can learn from. Beartooth's new album, Disgusting, is making waves in both Christian and secular hardcore markets, and for good reason. This 12-track, in-your-face load of baggage is the real deal. Even if hardcore isn't your thing, there's something for you to love on a good number of these songs. I give Disgusting by Beartooth 4 rocks out of 5. For the Rock in a Hard Place podcast, I'm Tom Labonte.
Excellent. Tom Labonte is the host of The Edge on UCB Canada, and you can check him out at ucbcanada.com, and I believe it's also rockfortherock.net.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have my sheet up, so hopefully I got both of those right.
Let's hope that you're correct in that.
I did not have my cheat sheet up, so hopefully I am correct. Let me see. Tom Labonte, host of Edge on UCB Canada. Yeah, I got it right. UCBCanada.com and rockfortherock.net. Woohoo! Score one for me. I finally memorized something. Well, this week we wanted to take a lighthearted look at Christian rock and some of the...
Real quick. If you liked what you heard by Beartooth, you can actually grab one of their songs for free, I believe, on Amazon Digital. So if you go to Amazon and look up digital music and look up their album Disgusting, one of the tracks, I believe it's called I Have a Problem, is free.
Yes.
I'm sure that won't last forever. So if you want to take advantage of that, you probably should.
Cool.
So, anyway, okay,
deal.
Back to lighthearted Christian rock.
Yes, back to lightheartedness of Christian rock. With Weird Al coming out with his new album just this last week, and the way that he released it by choosing different sites to host the music videos and all of that kind of stuff, I've had a lot of fun going through and checking out his new stuff. And, of course, it's just as good as it always was. I've been a huge Weird Al fan for a long time. But that got Paul to thinking, we need to do an episode on some of the funnier songs that are within the Christian rock genre. Now, there's not a lot, at least not that I had an easy time finding. In fact, I only came up with one song that I feel like really fits within the genre at all, and it's actually more of like a hip hop song than it is a rock song. So
okay,
it's kind of that's kind of where I'm at on this. So why don't you share where you're coming from on your side of the things, Paul?
Okay, well, first off, I feel I will be perfectly honest, I way overslept this morning. So this was kind of a smash and grab kind of thing for me on trying to get stuff together. And I even had some help from some of the people over on the 90s Christian Music Recovery group. And they pointed me in the direction of some good stuff. And there was lots of stuff that they knew about that I didn't realize existed, or I knew about, but I didn't realize.
So they're pointing you in these directions, but are they listening to the podcast at all? Have you engendered any support from them?
Not that I'm aware of, but that's okay.
Man,
I know what's the deal. But anyway, but one thing that I did not grab a clip of that I feel kind of remiss of, and I may just play just a little bit from the beginning of this song because I don't think it'll take much to get into it. But there is a band that basically is the Christian version of Weird Al. They're called Apologetics, and they've been around forever. Like I remember when I was like in junior high, they had ads for their albums coming out like in HM magazine, and they do a little bit of everything. They're kind of like Weird Al. They're pretty equal opportunity. They do a lot of 80s rock stuff, but they also do a lot of newer stuff as well. And they do a good job. They're really talented musicians, much like Weird Al. I mean, they're able to kind of bend themselves to whatever genre and make it work. And this one, I'm just going to play just a little clip from the beginning of this one. So I hope that it's a good clip. So we'll kind of wing this one. But this, of course, is their rendition of Smooth Criminal, but they've changed it somewhat to be Smooth Grandma because that's just the way they go. So I wouldn't say that all their stuff is actually funny because, well, we'll get into that here in a minute. But anyway, here's a little bit of Smooth Grandma, and hope you guys enjoy it. There we go.
If you came up to the window with the sound of very men alone,
So you kind of get an idea. I mean, you know, it's kind of funny stuff. But a lot of their stuff is not really funny. It's more of just like either telling Bible stories through other popular songs. Like they did a version of Hotel California that was Hotel Cantaforgia, which was about, you know, the kind of the birth of Christ and the nativity story and all that kind of stuff.
Kirk in the chat room says it's terrible.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's one of those things where it all depends on where you are. It's not, I wouldn't say it's quite up to the quality of Weird Al, but it definitely has some interesting, you know, choices that they do. And unfortunately for me, like I've got a couple of their records, and usually I'll listen to it once. And I'll be like, oh, that was fun, and that's about it.
Yeah.
But you know, they are definitely kind of the status quo as far as if there is a band that can be directly comparable to Weird Al, they're it.
They're the closest. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and I don't know if this is one of those things where I don't know. And then I think this also directly relates to the idea of it was a little bit more difficult to find funny stuff. And I don't know how much, you know, funny songs there are that are in the mainstream rock world to compare it to. But it feels like whenever there are song parodies, it always feels like Christian artists go through this struggle of, I can be funny, I think, or I can use this song and rewrite it to further the kingdom of God.
See, that's
Man, it seems
I feel like
wrong.
Our mindset just seems so messed up in that regard. Like, it's not okay to be a Christian and have a good time and do something fun. And it's like, what kind of life is that? Honestly, you know? I mean, it doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
Why can't you be a Christian and have a good time without going overboard on that good time? You know, I think that's what it boils down to.
When you start thinking about, like, even people who they might be trying to appease by doing that, I bet joke around in person with their friends.
Totally.
And I don't understand how that's different.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm right there with you.
So I think that made it kind of difficult to find some stuff. But at the same time, there are lots of stuff that I did run across that is pretty funny. And most of it has next to nothing to do with trying to make some sort of a spiritual message. It's just funny. Now, some of it does. Some of it manages to be both insightful and funny. And, of course, one person who did do that, and I'm sure this is one of the reasons why you don't like him, is Steve Taylor. Not because he's funny and insightful, but mainly this song that I'm about to get to is the most directly funny song I could think of. And this is the one that got brought up in the feed on the 90s Christian Music Recovery group as well. And the music video is funny. The whole concept behind it is funny. And he always has some lines that are usually amusing. Like, of course, he basically wrote Shine, which is a funny song, despite the fact that it has spiritual meaning. You know, the whole idea of, you know, vegetarian eating the hamster and all that kind of stuff. It's funny. You know, I mean,
schizophrenics
it's goofy.
turning in their crayons.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's all that kind of stuff that's pretty funny, but most of it is not one of those things where it's like it's a comical song. It just has funny moments.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's not meant to be a ha-ha song, but it makes points in a funny sort of way. This song does still make points, but it's so goofy. And the music video features him not only singing in kind of falsetto, but also dressed in drag as a schoolmarm, which is kind of funny because he still does that every now and then, but not very often on stage to do this song. And the song is called Lifeboat. And this is an extended clip, so it's a little bit longer than most. And even then, it doesn't even cover the half of the song. So I'll explain more about it. But this is the beginning of the song Lifeboat by Steve Taylor. So I assumed anyway. Hold that thought. I appear to have muted somehow my... how in the world did I do that? My soundboard is muted. I didn't even know that was possible.
Oh, man.
What the what?
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll play my clip, and then you can work on getting your stuff figured out.
Sounds good.
Does that sound okay?
Sure, why not?
Okay.
Let's say that it is.
A few episodes ago, I played a clip by a band called Say What that was a compilation. It was like this one guy was doing an interview with all these artists, and their answers were all clips of songs from their repertoire. Okay, so the band was called Say What,
right?
And that particular track came off of an album called Nuclear Fishing. They had an album prior to that was called Fresh Fish, and it was not a critically acclaimed album, but it had some songs on it that were that were just kind of fun and dumb and silly, and some of them had good messages to them, and others had no spiritual redeeming value whatsoever, but they felt okay in just putting them out. So this is one song. My clip's actually pretty long. It's like a minute and a half, but I kind of had to do the whole thing in order to give you an idea of the entire setup for it. Kirk's got to go. Kirk, we'll see you later, buddy.
Okay, real quick. I want to try out something.
Okay.
Did I make a stinky?
Okay, good. We're back. All right.
Okay, good. So the song is actually called "We're Stupid," and I think you'll get why in just a sec.
Today we're going to try something a bit different. Now please, page 1 in your sheet. Yes. This style of music is called rap. Now basses, I need you to lead in, and tenors, you will come in at measure 9. And Jerome, you have a solo after every verse. Now are we ready? Then let's begin! 1, 2, 3, 4.
So there you have it. That was "We're Stupid" by the band Say What off the album Fresh Fish.
Wow.
And you heard Jerome's
rap music.
You heard Jerome's solo in there. Right on, brother. That was Jerome's solo, in case you missed it. So yeah, there you go. And I happened to dig up another one, Paul. It's not Christian rock, but it's still kind of a funny song. And I'll see if it's one of yours.
Some of mine aren't either. I mean, some of mine are definitely a stretch, but they definitely fit within the general idea, but they're not necessarily rock. So
right.
Anyway, okay, all right. So I've got it all working now. Here's Steve Taylor with Lifeboat. Once again, remember that the whole thing is set up to where he's a teacher, he's in drag, he's a female. It's funny. You just have to give it a chance. Here we go.
Yep.
Good morning, class.
Good morning, Mrs. Arian.
Today we're going to play a game. This game is called Lifeboat. All together?
Lifeboat.
Good! Lifeboat is a lesson in values clarification. Can you say values clarification?
No.
Values clarification is where your little minds decide which lives are worth living and which lives are worth not living. Now, here's how we play.
Okay, so then he goes along to explain the game Lifeboat.
I've actually heard this. I've heard this song before.
and the music video, even better. It just adds visual to the whole thing. So, I mean, the whole idea is that they're playing Lifeboat, which, of course, was a very controversial game that was introduced into schools in the 80s.
And is the basis for Survivor.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the whole idea is that they're like, okay, well, you've got basically a mentally handicapped person. You've got a grandma who's towards the end of her years. You've got a young unwed mother with a screaming baby. You've got, then you've got Joan Collins. Then you've got, some handsome strapping lifeguard, something like that. I mean, right. I'm appalled that I don't remember the exact phrasing of all this, but, and so it's like, you can only save this many. Who are you going to save? And of course, it's terrible because I mean these kids are very obviously supposed to be in like first or maybe somewhere between first and third grade, and here they are given the life and death decisions of whose life is worth saving.
Right.
And it kind of takes a nasty turn for Steve. So you got to, if you look it up, it's on YouTube. I can just about guarantee it is super hilarious. Makes a good point. And it's almost like half song, half skit, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's quite hilarious. But, that was the only song that I could find by Steve that was like, that is just solidly a comedy song. I mean, there's nothing else there. It's comedy. It makes a point, but overall, it's a comedy song. It's funny.
Yeah.
So,
and its social political commentary in Christian music has never gone over well.
Yeah.
But,
Which, of course, is another reason probably why Steve has never become the gigantic Christian rock star that he maybe could have been had he chosen different topics to sing about. But, it's
so
interesting.
That aspect of his career, I've got to say, I actually appreciate about him as a person.
Oh, yeah.
He was never willing to change who he was to become more popular.
Right. Oh,
so
yeah.
kudos to him on holding his own in that regard. And that's not to say that he hasn't made a decent living doing what he does. It's just that it could have been even bigger.
Right.
And he opted to stay true to himself instead of, selling out. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, do you want me to do another one, or do you want to go on to your next one?
No, go ahead and do another one. If you can actually make it work.
Oh, yeah. These guys actually opened for Steve on his... Oh, by the way, I just now caught that, and you just shut it. These guys opened for Steve on his last normal tour before he retired and before his current tour that he's been doing. The band is Hocus Pick. Now, they also had a lot of stuff that was kind of tongue-in-cheek, kind of funny. This, I think, is the most prime example. And I love it. It's one of my favorite songs, although I feel kind of guilty for liking it because it's not even their lead singer singing it. It's their guitarist. And they did perform it live because this was off the current album, or the album that was current for them when I saw them. Most hilarious song ever, but I felt like such a rebel because every time I would play it, my mom would be like, "What is this song about? This song doesn't sound like a Christian song. You shouldn't. I don't know if you should be listening to this song." And even like non-Christian parents got on to my mom. They're like, "Did you hear that song that he's listening to? That doesn't sound very Christian."
Oh my goodness.
And I was just like, oh dear God. Anyway, but the song is called Love Stuff. And I'll give you a little bit of backstory. Like the part I'm playing is towards the end. And the whole thing is just about him talking about relationships and basically how he hates relationships and how many ways they always go wrong. Like his relationships with women. Like, anytime he has a girlfriend, all these things go wrong.
Right.
And that just doesn't work out. So this is kind of his rant about what he's going to do about it towards the end. So here we go. This is Love Stuff by Hocus Pick.
Baby, if love were a subject in school, maybe get a master's or a bachelor's degree in love. I'd flunk. And if you asked me to swim the deepest ocean for you, maybe the Atlantic or the Pacific, I know I'd be sunk. So I'm gonna go away to some distant country where there's only men and there's no women. We wear robes and sing prayers with beanies on our heads. I'm gonna become a monk.
I love it. I love it.
Going to become a monk.
I'm going to become a monk.
Nice.
And so he goes through this whole thing, and he's like, I hate this love stuff. It makes me lose my mind. It's going to bring me to ruin. Blah 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 blah. And then he's like, but then she catches my eye, and I change my mind. And then at the very end, after going through this whole rant, the guitar is like feedbacking and just goes, just kidding, and that's it. And it's quite funny and hilarious. And like I said, I actually. As far as just a vocalist is concerned, I actually like the guitar as a vocalist better than I like their actual lead singer.
Well, they did a crazy kind of distortion on his vocal too, which changes a lot, but it still sounds interesting at least.
And that part does sound a little bit different than the rest of it. I mean, that filter that they put on him for that is not. It sounds a little different than the rest of the vocals in the song. But still, I don't know. That song cracks me up every time. So anyway,
cool. All right.
Stuff.
Let's see. I dug up this one. It was really popular a little while ago. The artist. As soon as I say the artist name, Paul, you're gonna go, "Oh, I know what song it is."
Oh, okay.
Chris Rice.
Mm-hmm. I do.
You know what song it is. Now I just dragged this in, so I didn't have a chance to edit. So we'll just play the beginning of the song and about 30 seconds of it. But I think you'll get the idea of what this song is about. Now. I got to preface this by saying the song is absolutely ludicrous.
It is stupid.
It really is dumb. The premise of the song is dumb. But The song is catchy, and that's why it was popular.
Yeah.
So here we go.
I was thinking the other day, what if cartoons got saved? They start singing praise in a whole new way. Yeah, I was thinking the other day, what if cartoons got saved? They start singing praise in a whole new way. Yeah, yeah. Here's what I mean, listen to close. Fred and Wilma Flintstone sing Yabba Dabba Doo-ya.
All right. So, yeah, that's Chris Rice with cartoons. Again, it's an absolutely ridiculous premise. I think he gets the most cheer for his Scooby-Doo voice. Yeah, and then the Smurfs.
I remember how the Smurf one went.
La 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 hallelujah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, again, fun song if you discount the absolute ridiculousness of the premise of the song.
Right, which is funny because never has a song in the Christian market get so popular that sounds like, and I'm not implying that this is what happened, because I know it didn't.
Totally.
Sounds like it was thought up while the writer was high.
Yeah.
Hey, man, have you ever thought about if cartoons could accept Jesus? Like, oh, wow.
It's
Really?
like something you'd see on an episode of Bible Man.
Right. Which also
Yeah,
sounds like...
let's not go there. It's like Willie Ames and Kirk Cameron got together. No. Sorry. Oh my goodness.
So we now see the funny thing is people will want to get offended at that, but they know it's true.
Exactly. Exactly.
And if they put up with us this long, they should expect no more from us than this up to this
Or
point.
no less, whichever the case may be. You know, if I'm making jokes about Tim Lambesis being on Amped energy drink cans, this should be no surprise to you.
Right.
None at all.
Right.
Oh. All right, Paul, what do you got next?
This other one, I'm just kind of running down my list in pretty much in order. I may deviate a little bit, but this next one is one that definitely does fall into the strict parody version. And this guy was never considered Christian rock, but still, you gotta love it. Mark Lowry. I mean,
yeah,
funny fellow. And
I
he
had
did a
one of
few
his
parodies.
albums.
Yeah. So I mean, you know, it's funny to think that somebody so goofy was part of the Gaither vocal band. That
That's
never
true.
ceases to amaze me because the dude could sing.
Yeah.
But he's so goofy. Anyway, this was another one that I have to credit to the fact that the 90s Christian Music Recovery Group pointed this one out because I totally had forgotten about it. But this is his farce on Place in This World. But of course, it's Face in This World by Mark Lowry. Here we go.
All the girls will love my Stephen Curtis Chapman grin. Give me Carmen's eyebrows, but a bit more overgrown. I'll be a vision, a face almost my own. That's why I'm looking for a surgeon who'll work overtime to find my face in this world. My face.
Oh, that's awesome. I had not heard that one.
Really? Oh,
No.
you need to watch the video. You need to watch the video. It is so like
great.
video 101 basics, but it's hilarious. You need to check it out.
Yeah,
Although
I'm
you need to
definitely gonna
look,
take a
the
look at that.
first thing that pops up when you search for it on YouTube is one that's like really like noisy. You can tell it was like dubbed off a TV or something. So you have to dig a little deeper. But yeah, it's so funny.
Wow.
So funny. Anyway, so that's a good one. This other one, this comes from an artist who no longer, I don't think, claims the label of Christian, but he had a lot of songs that had funny bits, if not were just funny overall. But hip-hop artist Pigeon John, who, of course, was a member of LA Symphony and still does a lot of stuff with former LA Symphony members and tours with them and whatnot. But, you know, he doesn't claim to be a Christian anymore, I don't think. At least his music doesn't seem to show it. And, you know, I hope that I hope that things work out for this guy because he's insanely talented. But he had a song on the Hip Hope, I think 2009 album called Calculator Watch, and it kind of cracked me up. So here's a little clip of that.
What's on your wrist? Only a Casio with the calculator to count the cash extra slow. Come on, get up, come on, get up, come on, get up, come on, get up. My people working in the bookstores, hold it down. Just wait a little while, let's go all turn around. Come on, get up, come on, get up, come on, get up, come on, get up. My people working in the coffee shops about town. Just wait a little while, let's go all turn around.
So basically, the whole idea is that you're the nerd now, but you'll end up being successful. But the whole thing is pretty funny. You know, it talks about walking into the class, you know, with his Casio, you know, watch on, and it's pretty funny stuff.
I used to have a Casio calculator watch.
Oh man, you were super cool.
Well, that's not what everyone else told me.
Oh well, see, that was one of those things that was super cool for like the first 6 months that they existed because it was something that no one had.
Right.
And then very quickly after that, it was like, oh, you're a nerd.
Yeah. Oh, that's not cool anymore because that means that you think you're smarter than me. No,
That's
actually,
right.
I'm terrible at math, and that's why I need to have a calculator on my wrist in order to accomplish basic math functions.
See, now everyone can disguise it now because everyone's got a calculator on their phone and they don't have to admit that they're carrying it around.
Right. And some of those apps are specifically meant for like calculating things like tips and splitting the meal out between however many people are eating with you and all of that fun stuff.
Just in case you don't know how to just take a number and hit divided by 4.
Right. You know, because that's so hard.
That's asking a lot.
Yeah. I agree. Oh my, how terrible.
Okay, well here's another fun one that was pointed out to me off that Facebook page. It's by the band The Channel Surfers, who they were a goofy bunch of guys, but they had a song called More Lonely Guys. And I'm guessing that there was a actual just lonely guys that was on their previous record, but the whole thing is just talking about different guys who are lonely. And it's kind of amusing. Well, part of it I don't understand towards the end, but still, we're going to play this for you and see what you guys think.
George Costanza, a lonely guy. Marv Albert, he's a lonely guy. Don Johnson was a Miami Vice. Ella DeGeneres, don't like guys. Boba Fett, lonely guy. And Tommy Lee is a lonely guy. Lonely guy.
So the whole thing is just a joke about people, I guess, who presumably can't get a date. But I don't understand the whole Tommy Lee is a lonely guy.
Well, didn't he and Pam Anderson split up?
Well, it could be, and it could be around that same time, but still, I don't know. To me, that's a stretch. But
yeah,
you know, the rest of it, I definitely get. You know, and it's pretty funny. So, especially the Ellen DeGeneres.
Don't like guys.
Because you're wondering where they're going with that.
I'm not an Ellen fan, but that woman is funny.
Yeah, she is funny.
She is funny.
She's a funny lady. Okay, I've got one more that's normal, and then I've got a longer one that was actually, I think, may have been the original, maybe the original on us to do this one, even maybe more so than the Weird Al one, just because it was so weird.
Okay.
But this last one is by Johnny Q. Public. We've mentioned them on this show before.
Yeah.
But on their first album, Extraordinary, they had a song called Bald Women that is entirely biblical, but so goofy. So we're gonna play this for you, and hope you guys enjoy it. Here we go.
Outstretched neck, you flirt with your eyes, walking arrogantly along with ornamented disguise. Therefore the Lord will bring sores. Hey, bald women should have been humble. Bald women should have been smarter. Bald women, you're bald because you're bald.
That's so random.
Isn't it though? But it's taken from a passage of scripture, from what I remember, where the women of this town or city or country or whatever were just like so overly vain about everything that evidently God struck them with sores and made them lose all their hair.
Wow.
Kind of gruesome, but leave it to Johnny Q. Public to just make it into this goofy little ditty about bald women.
Of course.
Which I'm sure, like, they feel really awkward. Like if there was like maybe a cancer patient in the audience or something, be like, "Oh, this song isn't really about you. I'm sure you're a great person." Awkward. We're not going to play this song now. We're just going to skip on to the next song because this is really weird. That just came to me just now. See, that my mind works in really goofy ways.
It does, but that's why we love you.
Yes. Well, see, this all harkens back to another thing that's going to make me sound terrible. I'm going to take the chance. But back in the day when I worked at a top 40 station, we were hosting this hip-hop concert that had a big name that was headlining, but then all the people performing before were local acts. Okay. And one of the local acts that was performing before was this artist who went by the name Bigga Boy. Bigga Boy. And of course, he was African American. And the whole time I'm thinking, I can't slip and say the thing that is very close to Bigga, but isn't, because I will die. Right. I will get shot on stage.
Right.
Because this is Texas, and unlike Oregon, it is not lily white at all. And I mean, I'm sure that was probably just overactive imagination. But the whole time I'm standing on stage about to introduce this guy, I'm like, Bigga. And the other word isn't even a word I use, but at the same time, you just, it's just, you're just going, the whole time you're just like, I can't slip.
Totally.
I can't slip and say the wrong thing because that would be terrible. I'm going to die. It's like so stressful over just introducing a no-name artist.
Right.
Oh, man. Anyway. Okay. Well, actually, I was wrong. I do have one more that's short, but to me is simply hilarious. And when you find out who like half of this group is, you will totally understand why I think it's hilarious.
Okay.
Even before you hear it. Matt Langston from 11D7 and the Jelly Rocks also has a side project that's like a hip-hop project that he did with this other fellow who I can't remember his name, but he's like a news anchor somewhere now, or a reporter or something. And they're doing like their first show ever, or at least in several years, in Pittsburgh or something, either like right now or sometime in the very near future. And I'm super excited about it, but they've only ever released 2 songs. So I don't know what they're doing, but I would so love to be there. But anyway, they have one song that's called oh shoot, I can't remember the name of it now. They have one song that's like a Halloween song that's just hilarious. It's all about them fighting zombies and trying to hunt down vampires and stuff, and it's so over the top hilarious. It's called Walking Dead Apocalypse. So if you ever get a chance, you can look it up on there's an actual music video for it that is just stupendous. The fact that they never did that much more than that totally bewilders me to no end. But anyway, before that even, they had a song called Fancy. And it's great. You just got to hear it. This is just a little clip from it. It's a fairly short song overall, but this is Best Friend Fight, which is the name of the group of this rap duo, Best Friend Fight, and the song is called Fancy, and here's a little clip of it. Here we go.
Learning how to read, that's fancy. Earl Grey tea, that's tasty. The color of orange, that's fancy. Orange, that's fancy. Festive sweater, that's fancy. Pants made of leather, that's fancy. Knowing how to rhyme, that's fancy. Cloth napkins, fancy. All the ladies love us cause we're fancy. We're fancy. Gentlemen who don't put up with sassy. Fancy separates the ladies from the lassie.
Oh my goodness. That sounds totally Matt Langston.
Yeah.
I mean, just totally.
The color orange. Orange.
Yeah.
Knowing how to rhyme. Cloth napkins.
That's fancy.
They have another one that's like shopping at Target. Fancy. Overdraft charges. Not fancy.
Oh, man.
But that's another one. Like I said, you can find that on YouTube if you want to hear the whole thing. Fancy by Best Friend Fight. It never ceases to make me laugh out loud every time I listen to that song. It's so hilarious. But
totally. Oh my goodness.
I wish they would do more, but I think the only thing that's holding them back is, like I said, the other half of that group is he's got a normal day job that's fairly successful and whatnot. So it's like, why would you quit that to start this goofy little side project?
You never know. You just never know.
If there's a Kickstarter ever for Best Friend Fight, I will pledge. I will make that known. I will pledge. There's not a whole lot that I do, but I would for that in a heartbeat.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. We gotta chat with Matt sometime. He's 11D7 hasn't done anything recently, at least not that I've heard of.
Yeah, I think they're working on something. I know there's supposedly a new Jelly Rocks record in the works.
Oh, okay. Well, that could I would see why that would take a lot of his time then.
Yeah.
Good deal.
So anyway, well, before we wrap up this segment and move on to other things, this is the clip that I was telling you that we kind of originally found this, and we were like, man, this is just so hilarious. We need to do a show on just Christian songs that are goofy and funny. And then I kind of forgot about it, and I almost forgot about it again, as obvious, that I'm bringing it up just now.
Right.
But there's a new signing to Humble Beast Records. His name is
Humble Beast.
Humble Beast Records.
Humble.
Yeah, sorry. I'm from Texas in the Houston area. If you're from there, you totally know why I say it wrong. But yes, a Humble Beast.
Do they call it Houston?
No, but for whatever reason, the city of Humble is pronounced Humble. I don't know why. I really don't know why, but anyway. So Humble Beast Records has a new artist named Foreknown. It's one word, Foreknown. Known. There we go. Anyway, and he has a song that's called hashtag Footy Pajama Pizza Dance Karaoke Party Go! ! And it's just so ridiculous. And I think that you guys will enjoy it. So at the risk of breaking all sorts of copyright laws, I'm assuming since it's streaming online, no one's going to come after us. And I think it's just a promotional track anyway. So we're going to play the whole thing.
Nice.
And we're going to throw caution to the wind and get sued later.
Yep.
Here we go. Foreknown, Footy Pajama Pizza Dance Karaoke Party Go! I think. Man, come on. All right, hang on. We're gonna try this again. We're gonna see. This was all. I muted it because I'm playing it off the web browser, and I didn't want it to get all sorts of Facebook beep things and everything. So here we go.
Right.
We're gonna try this again. Here we go.
Hey. Hey. Hey.
Pizza in my hand, grape soda in my bottle. Make it rain Monopoly money like it's a lotto. Dancing on the treadmill doing party cardio. Footy pajama pizza dance karaoke party go! You're probably thinking, well, gosh, this is weird. That dude's in his pajamas, pizza sauce in his beard. Well, if you think that that's confusing, just wait until you hear my rendition of Whitney Houston. Looking for the party, well, you found the right spot. If you're looking for me, I'll be in the corner, and I got pizza in my hand, grape soda in my bottle. Make it rain Monopoly money like it's a lotto. Dancing on the treadmill doing party cardio. Footy pajama pizza dance karaoke party go!
Feel the beat, move your feet. Yo, you got popcorn in your teeth. We're all friends here, no need to be lonely. You're welcome, but don't eat all the pepperoni.
Hurry up, cause the party's almost ending. I got a couple neighbors and they're not too friendly. They're probably gonna call the cops, cause there's like 3 cars in the parking lot. When they show up, hide me so I don't get caught, cause I'm gonna get arrested when they see that I got pizza in my hand, grape soda in my bottle. Make it rain Monopoly money like it's a lotto. Dancing on the treadmill doing party cardio. Footy pajama pizza dance karaoke party go!
I love it.
Popcorn in your teeth, man.
Yeah.
Better get on that.
Right. Okay.
And you're playing more music.
Yes, well, it's SoundCloud. It's just going right on to the next thing.
Yeah.
But anyway, if you want to check out that song again, you can go to the Humble Beast SoundCloud page, which is just soundcloud.com/Humble Beast, which I said wrong before now, but yes, Humble Beast. And there you go. Foreknown.
Awesome.
And he also has a new track up called Cathartes Aurora. Anyway, I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right. But anyway, you can check out that one too in the same place. And his new record drops fairly soon. And it'll be free because it's a Humble Beast recording.
That's
so
right.
It's fun.
Good deal.
Mm-hmm.
The Rock in a Hot Place podcast presents
the one and the only.
All right, boys and girls, get ready for
The Stew.
And it is time for the Stew. This week, there is no theme because I am that lazy and I made this last minute. I'm not going to lie. So, with that in mind, no theme, but there is a movie and 3 different songs. All of these songs have been a single at some point, so there's no deep cuts on this one.
Okay.
And the movie is an older film, but I think will be in your wheelhouse.
Okay.
Unless it's not. So.
Alrighty then.
So Chris is going to play it, then he's going to try and figure out what the 3 songs are, hopefully title and artist, but if he can just figure out one or the other, then we'll give him, kind of a halfer pointer there.
Yeah, exactly.
But still, he'll get what he can. And if you're in the chat room, is there anyone left in the chat room?
No, they all left.
They
all had other things to do that they felt were more important than what we were doing here today. Tom has to go barbecue. And I don't know. Kirk just says, I need to go. So I think we just bored him and he decided it was time to leave.
So if you are one of the few, the faithful, who is actually still listening or hasn't been able to find the stop or pause button yet, well, then you can play along at home.
Your screen is broken and you can't turn your phone off.
Right. Man! Like, what's that combination to hard restart your phone? That'll do.
I don't remember. Oh, my goodness. All right. Well, here we go. This is the stew number 20. To think that we've done this for 20 episodes is insane to me.
I know.
But here we go.
In every town we leave, people ask to come along. Don't get me wrong.
My wife and I would like to ask you a couple of questions.
Sure. Go ahead, shoot.
Well, for instance, you can see us without the sheets.
Of course I can see you.
Well, how is it that you see us and nobody else can?
But you're no distraction to me.
Tasty goodness.
Okay.
Chris is writing down his thoughts.
I am.
And I will give you a weird hint on the movie if you haven't already figured it out.
Oh, the movie's Beetlejuice.
Okay, yeah. You want to hear a fun piece of trivia on that, though?
Sure.
The title of the movie is misspelled.
Well, if you're talking about the star, then yes, it's spelled differently than the actual star is named.
But see, here's the thing, though. When they read it within the movie, they are trying to pronounce it, and they pronounce it Beetlegeist.
Oh, gotcha. I did not catch that before.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
because they're like, Beetlegeist? No, that's Beetlejuice. Oh, okay. So yeah. I always found that kind of irritating. But, I get it. I mean, I think if they would have spelled it the actual way on the poster, it probably wouldn't have gone anywhere.
Yeah.
But still, I think it's kind of funny.
All right. So track 1 is Abandoned Kansas.
Okay.
With I Wonder If It's Me.
Oh, very good.
Track 2, I know, but I can't think of right this second. So we're gonna have to go listen to the long one just so that I can affirm it. It's like I
pulled a mean clip of that.
Yeah, and that's totally fine. Totally fine. Track 3 is Manifest with Bring the Ruckus.
Oh, nice. Very cool. Very cool.
Okay, so I'm gonna play the long clip of track 2 just so that I can reaffirm in my head.
Okay.
All right, so here we go.
Okay.
Right. You
Just
are
so
a
I can
rude.
Make you have to listen to that.
You are a rude man, Paul Gibson. That would be Fire with Fire by the letter Black.
For those listeners who aren't in on the joke, Chris hates this song.
I don't hate the song. I just hate her little Fire with Fire. So it's not the whole song I hate. It's just the way that she says that Fire with Fire thing. That's what frosts my melon.
Oh, Chris of the Frosty Melon.
Well, it's kind of looking that way as I get older. So,
it's like, would you like your tips frosted? Well, yes. Which one?
Yeah, exactly. Oh my! I'm looking at myself. My goodness, I need a haircut. Hair's getting long. Starting to get spiky.
Spiky, Chris.
Oh well, since Paul slacked today and did not do a noise trade find. We're actually going to be done with the show.
Yeah, although I will tell you this real quick. This I didn't pick for 2 reasons. One, because they're not exactly my style, but 2, because I didn't really have time. But if you're into the kind of the pop worship, stylings. Esterlin has put up one of their albums, I believe, Woven, and it's only going to be up for 2 weeks on noisetrade.com. So if you have inclinations towards that band, I think they have another album or EP up as well, and you can grab that for free. But once again, the album Woven will only be up for a very short time. They're doing it to promote their upcoming release. So
good deal.
I'll throw that out there.
All righty. So since that's going to do it for us this week, we just want to remind you that you can get a hold of us if you want to. You can email us, rockinahardplacepodcast@gmail.com. That is one way to get a hold of us. You can check out our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/rockinahardplacepodcast. You can check out the website, which has links to all the different ways that you can listen to the show. If you don't like iTunes, we have a couple other options for you there. And you can check that out at rockinahardplacepodcast.com. And just so that everybody's clear, it is rock, the letter N, the letter A, and then Hard Place Podcast. So just to make sure that everybody is completely clear on how to find the show. And do us a favor, share the show with someone who you think might enjoy it. Download an episode and just give it to them. They're free.
Right.
It's not like it costs you anything. And that way you may be able to drag in a new listener. Better yet, if you have the time, we record Saturday mornings at around 9 a.m. So if you have Pacific time, correct. If you have the time, come join us on the Ustream. You can go to the website and click the link, and it'll take you right to the Ustream page. We enjoy having folks in the chat room that not only tease us and make fun of us, but also can fill in a lot of information that Paul and I may not have. So you guys get to add to the intelligence of the show by hanging out with us and feeding us some of that information.
That's right.
And it's a lot of fun for Paul and I just to know that we have people out there that are actually listening and interacting with us. So it's a great addition to the show.
We like to know that you care.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right. Well, I guess there's really only one thing left to say, and that's I'm Chris Cooner.
And I'm Paul Gibson.
And we'll catch you next week.
Thank you.